Hmm.
I'm starting the live stream.
It's already going live now.
I'm starting now.
Okay.
Okay. Arun, Dr. Deep, we are live now.
Yeah,
Start
thank
your
you.
webinar. I will take your lead.
Thank you, Dhruti. Hello and very good evening, Dr. Deep Chand Pant. I welcome you on this program, and I'm really feeling very proud and excited, thrilled to have you on this program. So first of all, a big welcome to you and also to all the audience who are watching us live, because this is for the first time we are doing it live on two platforms. One is on LinkedIn and as well as on Facebook. So welcome, Dr. Deep.
Thank you very much, Arun, for inviting me. It's great to be with you, and I hope it becomes an interesting and a helpful session for
Yes.
all the viewers. Yeah.
Thank you. So for the audience, before I proceed, because we have a very interesting topic, first of all, apologies that today I'm looking like Krishna, little darker version of myself, but bear with me because there is a poor light arrangement. Uh, but on the other side, I think the topic, let's focus on the core part of our topic, that is spiritual leadership. And let me give you a very quick background that almost a week back, I met Dr. Deep at his clinic, at his hospital, at his residence. And he asked me, Arun, how can I help you if you need any help? तो मुझे लगा कि शायद सबसे अच्छी हेल्प अगर मुझे डॉक्टर दीप कर सकते हैं तो वो अपना टाइम देके कर सकते हैं. And I asked for his time. So very, very thankful to you that you are here with us today and sharing your precious time. So before we go into the topic, Dr. Deep, I want you to first of all talk about yourself. And there is a little secret between us, which I will share after you finish. So you tell the audience who you are, what you do, and what is it all about you. First, it's all about you. Over to you.
I'm basically based at Bareilly, and I have my own hospital. Basically, I am a intervention cardiologist,
ये क्या
meaning
होता है, कई लोगों
I
को पता नहीं है, वो भी बता दीजिएगा.
yeah I basically mend broken hearts. You can say I open clogged arteries. I prevent patients getting heart attacks. I open up their arteries. I put stent. Sometimes I will do electrical wiring of their heart. I will put a pacemaker. So basically, I'm a cardiologist, and intervention cardiologist mean the person who is doing some sort of procedure, minimally invasive procedure on your heart to correct some disease. So I'm in this practice from last around say 18-20 years. I'm into interventional cardiology, and apart from that, my full time hobby is spirituality, especially not that traditional spirituality, but how we can increase our potential. Because I believe that all of us are born with certain potentials, certain capabilities, and certain powers are hidden inside our brain, which we call our spiritual power. So how to access that power and excel in our whatever field we are, no?
So in other words, you are saying that you are not just an interventional cardiologist by practice, but from your inner core, you are a true doctor of heart as well. Can I say that?
Maybe. Yeah, thank you, Arun. Yeah.
Excellent. So, okay, thanks a lot, Dr. Deep. But now I'll tell you one secret that many of you may not know. I and Dr. Deep studied together. We were classmates in our school days in 90s. We did our 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th together. And needless to say, we can see that where he's, and I'm lucky and I'm very proud, as I said, that I'm today having him as my guest and I'm hosting him. Okay, now let's get into the real topic today, and we'll talk about something related to spiritual leadership. But before that, I am sure in the past you would have heard me bringing more speakers talking about corporate leadership. What is a manager? What is a leader? What are the qualities of a leader? But today, this topic has brought a very big interest in the minds of people across the industries, across the levels that they are working. So I thought that there is one question that was right at the beginning of my mind that I want to ask you, Dr. Deep. We talk about traditional leadership, we talk about goals, we talk about strategy, we talk about mission, vision, we talk about how to lead teams. This is the one leadership that I know very clearly. So how it is different and what is the core part of spiritual leadership vis-a-vis this part of leadership? Can you throw some light on this?
It's a very good question. Most of the industry leaders, they are doing their best, by their resource management, human resource management. But I feel there is a higher dimension, a higher dimension present in ourselves, in everybody, in every human being. That is a spiritual dimension. What exactly do I mean by spiritual dimension? Means what I mean to say is that whatever we are, we think that I am Dr. Deepan, you think you are Arun. So basically, this is just our mental projection. This is not true what we are actually.
Mhm.
This is just a projection of our mind. We are just a set of memories, a set of prejudices, a set of thinking, a set of mental bias, all combined together, and a stream of thought is a Arun or a Dr. Deepan. But we are way beyond it, meaning thereby that there is an inherent, you can say, witness inside us, a inherent witness who is watching all the activities which we are doing in our daily life. We are running, we are going, we are working, waking up, we are going to our duty or hospital or industry, wherever we are working, we are interacting with people, we are talking to people, we are working our targets, we are completing our targets. But behind this scene, there is a neutral witness which is always watching, and that witness is, we call it our spirit, our soul, and we never access that dimension. The reason being, we are so engrossed in our own mental projections, in our own thoughts, in our own memories. We are all driven by thoughts. So, how we can transcend our thoughts? It is my own observation that the biggest enemy of our own progress is our own brain, is our own thoughts. Suppose I take this target, I take a target that I have to put a stent in a particular patient who is very sick, and it's a very difficult case. The moment I start it, a thought will come. Deep, this is a very difficult case. You will not be able to do it. Or you are given a project. You say this project is to be done in say 1 week. No, this cannot be done. The first one which is obstructing your progress is your own thoughts,
Yeah,
is your own
very true.
brain.
Yeah,
So
there is some
most
buffering happening. Yeah.
of the time we do not limited personality. Our this is limited to this thought world in our, and to how to get into the immense potential
Dr. Deep, you are a bit hanging in between. If you can check your internet connection, that will help. In fact, you're frozen now.
which
Uh, Apologies, Dr. Deep.
has.
I think you're frozen. I think your internet is a bit slow. Can you check that? Hello, Dr. Deep. Am I audible to you?
In one study,
No, no.
they
Just
say we only use is being unused.
Deep. I think you were frozen for some time.
So this is all spiritual inner capabilities, personal and professional. Signal good from my side. Are you able
Oh,
to hear me?
yeah. In between, there was a lot of frozen things happening. So I suggest if you can repeat again from the time that you left when you said that when we take up a task like within a week if we have to do and there is a thought that comes that it is not so our thoughts were controlling. This is where I left last.
Exactly. So it is our thought which is controlling our life.
Right.
A thought will project inside our brain, and we believe that I believe that our thought is only our biggest enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So how to go beyond this thought projection? How to go beyond this thought created image of ourselves? What we are, I am interacting with you.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I am not interacting with you. It is my own image is interacting with your image actually.
Mm-hmm.
This
Mm-hmm.
is the crux of the matter. Means we are just playing with images. The real self is the only the witness. So
Mm-hmm.
what I mean to say is when you are able to understand that you are not your thoughts, you are not your mental projections, you are not what your thought is suggesting. You are a way beyond something.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, thereby, I'll give you one example. We say we are doing a particular job, but there is an innate intelligence when you are in deep sleep which intelligence is working when you are in a deep sea, whether I will call you that you exist or not, you still exist, something exists, some innate intelligence is there which is working in your neurons, which is working inside your stomach, digesting food. Something, some innate intelligence is working inside your heart, pumping some the blood. Some innate intelligence is working through your lungs, you are breathing. Matlab, everything is in an automatic mode. So
Mm-hmm.
how to access to that innate intelligence which is in all of us? So, but to go there, how to go there? How to access that power? So that is the basically the main crux of spirituality. And when you access that power, uh, so many things will become clear to you. So much peace, so much clarity will come into your life. And I also have seen, because I'm into this field and I'm into this almost research of this kind, this type of spiritual research, and I felt that going deeper inside yourself, being more spiritual, brings much more wonderful results. Why? Because then you're not disturbed by your thoughts, and also some innate intelligence is working through you. When your own mind is not obstructing, some innate intelligence is working through you, which does things much more beautifully than in your own egoistic way of doing. So this difference in approach of dealing with the person, with dealing with situations, in a very intelligent way, is basically spirituality for me.
Okay. I get it. I think what I get a sense after listening to your thoughts is I repeat the word thoughts.
Yeah.
This is bigger than what my face and my body is all about. I'm sure this is
Exactly.
what you're trying to say. And I also, what I'm getting a sense is uh, this is more powerful and this shows me who I am, right? This is what
Exactly.
I'm reflecting to the world, not my skin, not my bones, and not my body, but my thinking process, which is more bigger and powerful. I'm sure this is what you're trying to say, right?
Exactly.
So this is
I'll give you
spiritual.
one example.
Yes,
I'll give
please.
you one example. Arun. Sorry for interrupting you. One day I was walking in around a jungle. Just I was taking a long walk. Suddenly something, some thought came. Then that says, कि whatever I am this present, I am feeling myself, whatever I am thinking I am, this is just a set of thoughts. If you remove these thoughts, what is left?
Okay, that's
Because
interesting.
what we think ourselves is just a buildup of thought. You remove all the thoughts, what is left? That is your real self actually,
Exactly.
and it
Thank
is
you.
much more capable.
Hmm.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for that example itself is something more enriching to take a deep dive. I think what we are talking needs a lot of absorption also because
Yeah, I
to
know.
connect with a lot of things what you're saying. But that also brings one important parameter when I talked about the traditional leadership. We talk about, as I said, goals, targets, and then you talked about the internal part. So tell me, what I'm sensing is there is an internal environment within us, and then there is an external environment because the way people see us behave, the way we behave, and I think in leadership, everything boils down to behavior. So there is an external environment, then there is an internal environment. I'm fighting, I'm talking to me, and then I'm reflecting a lot of thoughts outside. So how does spirituality helps in this environment? What changes does it bring? How someone can think of bringing their best out in meeting the external challenges in any job or profession that person may be.
Spirituality actually helps by multiple ways, multiple dimensional ways.
Mhm,
First of all, when you're spiritual, you can see your own ego. That is the
mhm,
biggest breakthrough. You can see your own ego because most of us so engrossed with ourselves, we do not see our ego. We see other people's ego, but we don't see our egos. When your ego is removed, when you see that your ego, that I am with dealing with a particular person or a particular, I am being egoistic. I am saying that this is the only way to do it. When you see that, so many things will drop in your life, so many stresses, so many encounters, so many hassles between you and an employee will drop. So when you can see that something is reacting inside you out of ego, then so many things will be dropped. And when this drop, it brings so much clarity, not only to you also, but also to the other person. Meaning thereby, because I was talking about some innate intelligence which is working through us. When we, but that works only when we drop our ego. So
mhm,
when the other person sees that you have dropped the ego, you do not have any ego, some innate connection will occur from your heart to his heart. So
mhm.
there'll be much more better understanding, much more you can say love will flow between them, and you will feel so much calmed, so much at peace, and so much clarity will be there. So you can say the result will be much more better compared to a person who is behaving egoistically, who is in the you can say dimension of a ego. Because if we go beyond the dimension of our personal egos, so many problems we bypass. So this is just bypassing our ego. By bypassing our ego, we build an environment. The environment, you can say, inner environment is built up around which all your colleagues or your you can say subordinates or superior, they will feel much more connected. So that is the basically the way you improve.
Okay, so I have a very curious question because you touched again a very important point that is ego. Okay, and in my own practice as a coach, I come across a lot of successful people, successful leaders in organizations. And when you see a lot of successful people and successful I mean, in successful places, they develop arrogance because they become overconfident that they are achieving big and they can do more of it, and that's how they see everything small around them. They become more overconfident, arrogant, and they don't listen, so people fear going near to them. So are you saying this is the ego? And if it is the ego, then what is the solution? How do they work on it? Any thoughts on this you want to give?
Actually, ego can be the way you have said. Ego can be classified as negative ego or a neutral ego. A neutral ego is a normal way of interacting and trying to put your view that my view is superior to your view, even if something inside is telling you that the other person is right. This is a neutral ego. This happens in everyone.
Okay.
But the example you have given, when the person is so much conscious of his own greatness or whatever he has achieved, and it is reflecting in his behavior, so definitely his performance will go down
Mm-hmm.
in the way that he will build up a negative environment around this. So whatever people will come into his field, they will be demotivated.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fact actually.
Yeah.
I have seen in my interaction with my cat lab. I have been very friendly with my people, with my staff, with junior staff. I have no,
Mm-hmm.
matlab, I try to keep my ego to minimum, and
Mm-hmm.
I have seen wonderful results.
Mm-hmm.
Same when I was not into spirituality, maybe 10 years back down the line, I had so much tussle with my junior staff, my technicians, my nurses. There were
Mm-hmm.
lots of objections just because I could not see that it is my egoistic reaction which is creating all this negative environment. So that's a very good thing you have pointed out, that when we are not conscious, when we are very conscious that we are being egoistic, when we can see it as a neutral judge, we can definitely overcome, we can only transcend it, and that will solve so many problems in our professional and personal lives.
Okay, great. So I think that brings to me another question. Sorry, I'm bombarding question after question because everything is so interconnected. So how do someone bring that? Because you said without ego, you see a lot of things happening around you. You see people accepting you. So it is so very important. So the question is, how do someone finds being spiritual in professional and personal life? Because the same behavior, as I said, of ego can also reflect in your personal life, in your family, because you feel that you are above all. So how does somebody can imbibe or involve or become more spiritual into their life in both personal and professional?
Before I answer your question, I will give you one small example which I frequently see in my cat lab. Cat lab is
Okay.
a place where we do treat heart attacks.
Yeah.
There's so many, sometimes will officer will come or a big businessman will come with millions, billions of properties, and then I show them that this is a very small clot, barely visible. This could kill you. This small clot has got the potential to kill you. What means, this brings up, I always show to that person, this is the clot which was about to take your life. This such a small clot can take your life. What you are thinking in your in your brain, in your the way that I'm such a big person, the small clot can destroy you. Even a small virus which are barely visible, COVID virus, it almost brought all the world to the, you can say, standstill.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very good way of thinking, that whatever we are, we are just being run by some innate intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever our projection, whatever thing we have done this, we have done this, is just a mental projection actually. Now
Mm-hmm.
coming to your question, how to achieve it?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's a very broad topic. Means, what I mean to say is that going to temple or going to masjid or going to Gurdwara is not being spiritual.
Okay.
For being spirituality, you have to start from yourself first.
I think you're breaking again.
From your behavior, first thing is being both in your professional and your personal life. But you will ask me, what is the use of being truthful? What is the practical utility? When you are being truthful, you are breaking your own ego, because whenever you are speaking a lie, or whenever you are not being truthful, basically you are building ego layers inside your soul. So first
Mm-hmm.
thing is to be very truthful. When you are being truthful, then your employees, your junior staff, your team member will recognize that this person is very spiritual, and business will be built between you and your team. First thing.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is, all spiritual leaders say, always be witness to all your thoughts. This is a
Mm-hmm.
very difficult job. Initially, you'll be carried away by some thought. But what I say, just try to be a witness. Take some time from maybe half an hour daily, or maybe say 20 minutes daily, or even 5-10 minutes before sleeping. Just sit for some time. The traditional way of meditation, you can say. Don't have to chant any mantra. Just watch your thought. Slowly you can increase it. And when you start increasing it, you feel much more inner power coming, much more inner peace coming. Because
Mm-hmm.
by witnessing, what happens, you are being connected to that immense potential, that immense power which is governing this world. this is the basically a theory. This is not proven, but
Hmm.
this has been my experience that over a period of 10 years, by being spiritual, I feel so much power inside me, so much clarity inside me, which was not previously there. There is no trace of any depression, there is no trace of any ego, there is no trace of any frustration. And one more thing I want to say, being spirituality, being spiritual is to be totally being in present. Most of us, we are just living in a memory. Either we are brooding about the past or we are imagining about the future. This moment is the most important moment, as Eckhart Tolle says. Eckhart Tolle is a big philosopher of US. I am a fan of Eckhart Tolle. He says this moment is the biggest, is the most important moment. Always we are dreaming about something, we are either running into future or going back into past. So we are not in being in this moment. So if you are being in this moment, you are truthful, and you always watch your thought, be witness to your thought, something slowly will emerge inside you, some power, some innate, you can say intelligence, or some inner peace will come, and it will take over the charge of your life. And this has been my own experience. That's why I'm telling, it's not something I've read from book, and I felt it. Some inner power, or you can say God, or whatever you want to say, some spiritual power is taking over me. And you won't believe this, because I've seen practically many time dying patients. Patient is dying, patient is, I am trying to put some do surgery, and suddenly I feel ki, oh, I can't do it, it's not possible for me. And I've seen, and access to my power, and something happens, some miracle happens, and some advice come from somewhere, somebody will advise me do this, and patient, gets cured, or he survives. So I have witnessed this so many times. That's why I wanted to share with this platform, that we all can have access to that power. But three things are there. First, be truthful in your personal and your professional life. Always watch your ego and your thought. And third is, save some time in your day, at least 10-15 minutes, for some contemplation. So gradually you can improve.
So what you just mentioned, I think they are so interrelated to each other. When when you're when you watch your thoughts, when you're truthful, and then you speak about it, so everything gets linked to each other in a very sequential way. And I think that's one of the ways that you can you can be in more control of yourself. And that's what I think you mentioned in your first point, your thoughts. You are made up of your thoughts. So I read somewhere your thoughts can uh, thrill you and your thoughts can kill you.
Kill you. Exactly. Very good.
Very
This
right.
is a fact actually.
Yeah. Dr. Deep, can you set up your camera? I think your screen has gone a little up, so your face is coming half. Yeah, I think this is better.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
great.
you.
Now, a lot of people in this network of mine, and I'm sure in your also, who are working class, who goes for work every day. Now, I have a question because I got this question from one of our group members, and he said that how do we ensure that we make our work worthy enough, or how do we find purpose to our work? Because I see a lot of people, they get up, they get ready, they go to their office, travel, work, then come back, and then they sleep. They go, they come back, and then they sleep. And this is like a routine. And they feel demotivated, they feel frustrated in this journey, and they are not clear about. And that's where I think your spirituality of leadership is, or spiritual leadership plays an important role. So how does somebody can make their work worthwhile, as well as make it more rich, make it more fun, and make it more meaningful? So how does spirituality can help in this? Can you put some light here?
You have raised a very, very good question. I am so happy to hear your question, and it's a problem for everyone. In fact, I was also facing this problem maybe 10 years down the line, but now I don't face any problem. I will start with a small thing,
Mm-hmm.
small quote by Eckhart Tolle.
Mm-hmm.
He says, whatever problem may be in your life, suppose something going to happen, but he says, right at this moment, is there any catastrophe? Is there something happening? Like suppose I want to say that tomorrow I have to face an interview. So I will start getting jittery from this moment only. So I started asking this question maybe 5 years back down on. Tomorrow I have to do a difficult heart case surgery, and I used to get very jittery, So I said, at this moment I am not doing this surgery. Why I'm getting this? Why I'm spoiling my evening? I will see it tomorrow. I will think about it tomorrow. Similarly with working, when we are working, we have so many projections. The thought means our mind is giving projection. You are not doing well, yeah. You are not being optimal. Your life is not being meaningful. You could have done much better. Your targets are not being achieved. What is this all? This is all your thought. It doesn't exist. This is not a reality actually. This is the crux of the matter. You have to understand that this is all your mental situation. This is all your mental position. Is far away from the truth. So the moment you understand, you start observing your thought, some miracle will happen. You will start accepting every situation, and you will also start to think that I don't have to think that my life can be better. Means then you will get, you can say, at peace with your heart, that whatever is happening in my life at this moment is the best it could have been. When this feeling comes inside your heart, a deep peace will come inside you, and with that deep peace, whatever you do, you will do wonders. And I also want to say all this thing in the last part of my this answer, that stop thinking also that I have to being achieve something big. This is also a thought, and this thought will destroy your present life. This thought will destroy your present moment. This present moment is so beautiful. This is not going to be retrieved. Even you spend billions of rupees. Suppose I say, Arun, give me a sample of yesterday evening. I pay you $10 billion. You'll not be able to do it. So why to destroy this moment? Why to destroy this second? Live this second fully. Whatever best could have been done, you have done, and whatever problems are there, you think about them later. Whenever the present problem will present themselves, then only you think. I think that is the way of going,
So
and that
no,
will bring 90% of your stress.
and no wonder our poets or our Bollywood has made that song "आने वाला पल जाने वाला है, इस पल में
Yeah,
जिंदगी बता लो सब कुछ यही होने वाला
exactly, exactly.
है."
And this
Wonderful.
has actually been my experience. I have seen this. No, now I don't get any stress. मैंने कहा ठीक है, जो होना है कल होगा ना एंजियोप्लास्टी. अभी तो मेरा कुछ नहीं हो रहा है ना. अभी तो मैं
True.
अपनी बच्चों के साथ बैठा हुआ watching TV. Why I'm destroying this?
Moment.
So this mutation, this was a mutation inside my genes. It brought lots of peace in my mind.
Yeah. Wonderful. I think that also reminds me when I was listening to a very famous coach, and I think he mentioned something that if you want to achieve any goal in your life, he said a very simple thing: take out a piece of paper and write down what you want to achieve, let's say in 90 days. And what he said, now take that piece of paper, put it in your wallet, put it in your desk, put it in the first page of your diary, and just don't do anything. Just paste it and leave it, and some magic will happen. And what magic I'm now connecting it, it's your thought. It will go back to your thinking process, because when you
Exactly,
see it,
exactly.
it will
Yes,
come to your mind again and again that this is what you have to do. That's very wonderfully connected with
yes.
what you said. Okay, now when we talk about spiritual leadership and when we look at the corporate, like you're running a hospital now, and also there are a lot of businesses and the industry is happening. I think there are two words which are very interconnected with the spiritual leadership, and that is values and ethics. What do you have to say on this piece? Any experience or anything that you want to share in this? Because in your practice also, values and ethics are the most important thing. I'm sure people look up to you and as God, as a second image of a God, after God, I would say. So what do you have to say on this piece and spiritual leadership?
If you talk about Deepak Chopra, he's a famous philosopher. He says, when you are not being truthful in your life, then you are obstructing so many things in your life. Means you are obstructing that innate power which is inside you. That's why I had mentioned earlier also, the first requirement of being spiritual is to be truthful to
Mm-hmm,
yourself, to your partner, and to your family, and to your professional life. So
mm-hmm,
same principle applies here also.
mm-hmm,
If you are not being ethical, obviously you're not being truthful. If
mm-hmm,
you are not being sensitive to the needs of your patient, you are not being truthful. If you are not reporting to your duty on time, you're not being truthful. If you're not, behaving nicely with your patient, you're not being truthful. If you're not behaving nicely with your colleagues, you're not, means this paradigm of being truthful is a very wide, it brings a inner, if you are being truthful, it brings a inner, awareness inside you, that I have to do whatever I can do best as a
Mhm.
human being, you know so that is the first requirement, first requirement. Because what happens, I have seen this also, when you are being unethical,
Mhm.
you know then definitely ego will take charge of your life. And the more you are egoistic, the more ego takes charge of your life, the more you are away from your innate capabilities, innate spirituality, you can say. So that is the first and the foremost thing, to be truthful, to be honest, to be ethical, and to be means have meaningful dialogues and meaningful work in with people.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for enlightening this from your experience with respect to being truthful in many ways. I think people are known for their values at the end, and that one of the value, what you said, is truthfulness. That's a value system, and that's where the ethics and values, I think that is what takes people ahead, rather than the money that you have earned over a period of time. No matter how much billions you have, but if you don't have ethics and value, people know that,
Yeah,
how that thing has
yeah,
been built up, and vice
yes,
versa.
exactly.
I have seen a lot of professors, in particular teachers, I would say, they're not rich, they're not super rich,
Yes,
but their
yes,
respect is at the topmost level
yeah,
because of ethics and values.
exactly, exactly.
So that is something I believe that we all need to be very particular about, and it's like always ongoing. You cannot say that ki, I was ethical yesterday and I am not today.
Yes, yes.
It's a way of life, basically.
Inner quality, it's an inbuilt inner quality.
Air quality. So, Dr. Deep, I think I'm taking a lot of time, but maybe on a last question that I want to come out, in spite of so much of knowledge, in spite of so much of information, and even awareness available across all of us on spirituality, on ethics, values, and leadership, still, why so many people fail to live these values or live this spirituality in their workplace? They are goal oriented, they are powerful, they are egoists, they rub people down the line like anything, and they listen to all these lectures, and they listen to a lot of gyan happening on social medias but they fail. So what do you have to say on this piece?
I will say one thing, that when the people you are saying that fail, they do not, they rub shoulders with their colleagues badly, they are not being truthful, their inner heart knows, they themselves know that I am not being spiritual, I am not being, I am not doing this correctly. Because this is the main thing, something inside, some power will inside will tell you that whatever you are doing, whatever spirituality you're showing is a fake thing, and they themselves know it. And they themselves know the solution also, the solution which we discuss. The first solution itself is first being truthful. Means if you are having so much ego problem, and on the side you are being spiritual, it means you are not being truthful. Simply so, that you are not being truthful. So first you must accept, the first thing is being truthful, accept that whatever I am doing is a fake thing, I am not being spiritual, and I will do the real spirituality. The first step I will take, I'll be truthful. I will recognize my weaknesses, I will recognize my egos, I will watch my ego, I will watch my thought. And definitely when they go with the correct way, definitely they will get inner peace, that inner tranquilence. And definitely their colleagues will also say there's a marked difference in your personality in, say, last 6 months or 1 year, and they will also remark. So this is the way you deal with ना, means कहने का मतलब ये है कि अगर आप किसी चीज को सही ढंग से नहीं करोगे तो रिजल्ट कहाँ से मिलेंगे? सिंपल सी बात है। अगर आप खुद ही डिसऑनेस्ट हो अपने लिए, तो how will you get the peace which you are looking for?
And no wonder when they don't have peace, they come to you for treatment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I echo this point that I can only say one thing. Anyone who sleeps like a baby in the night is one who is honest and who is truthful. And what you're saying has got the element of spirituality, irrespective of
Yes,
religion or any gender or anything else. Am I right in saying?
yes. My late father used to say कि दुनिया में सिर्फ ढाई सुख है. फर्स्ट इज अच्छी नींद, दूसरा अच्छी सेहत, और बाकी आधा में सब कुछ आता है, इंक्लूडिंग योर प्रॉपर्टी, योर बैंक बैलेंस.
So nice, so very true, and a very meaningful thought that you gave. So I think without taking much time, a very healthy and fruitful discussion. I have a lot of learning out of it, and I'm sure a lot of people who are listening to this conversation are also going to benefit. But before we close this session, I want you still to, wrap up by giving some top of your mind thoughts that you still want to leave people with. Anything that you want to speak and say again. Dr. Deep, you're hanging, I believe, again.
हेलो, कैन यू हियर?
हाँ,
हेलो.
थोड़ा कैमरा थोड़ा आप नीचे करो, आपका वो फेस के काफी नीचे आ. Yeah, this is better.
हाँ,
Yeah,
ठीक
so
है.
yes, this is
हाँ.
better.
Yes. I want to say one thing, and which I practice myself. मेरे को ये कहना है कि जो आपने अभी 40-50 ईयर्स में लाइफ अपना जिया है, उसको एनालाइज करो, और आप पाओगे कि अगर आपको रीस्टार्ट बटन दे दिया जाए तो आप क्या
Wow.
करोगे? अब वही करना शुरू करो. You will achieve whatever you want to achieve.
Excellent. So still you have another 50 to go, you mean to say, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Deep, for all the enlightenment and your experience from your practice, from your and also the time that you gave out of your busy schedule. Thank you so very much. I'm sure the reach of this program, as much as it can go to as many people. So I request all the audience, you have the link, and if you can share it on your social media for more reach and for more, I would say, spirituality, in the spirit of spirituality, if you can do that, it will be very nice. And I thank all of you who are watching this program and taking your time out. And also, I want to share that in the next program, we are going to invite another very leading personality, a big speaker. He's CEO of Skill India. Most likely, we'll have it on 3rd of April, and we'll keep you posted. So thank you very much, Dr. Deep, once again for being here. And we look forward to connect with you again in future.
Thank you, Arun. It was so nice talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.